Speaker of the Ukrainian Air Force, Russians simulated launches of Daggers with the help of electronic warfare. During the recent large-scale air raid in Ukraine, a remarkable event took place. The radars of the air defense/missile defense systems of the armed forces of Ukraine detected some objects moving at hypersonic speed and periodically disappearing from the screens. A number of local TV channels began to write about the launch of hypersonic Daggers by Russian troops and recommended that the citizens of the country go to shelters as soon as possible. So, in one of the Odessa chats, they wrote that the air defense detected an object flying over the city of Kropivnitsky, Kirovograd at a speed of about 7,500 km/h. The authors of the post suggested that the Daggers were launched from the northern direction, or that this was the work of the Russian electronic warfare. It is worth noting that in the latter case, the administrators of the Odessa public turned out to be right. Later, the Speaker of the Ukrainian Air Force, Yuriy Ignat, confirmed that the Russian armed forces simulated launches of hypersonic Daggers with the help of electronic warfare. It is worth noting that such tactics can be very useful not only from the point of view of psychological pressure on the enemy, but also from the point of view of the effectiveness of hitting military targets on the territory of Ukraine. After all, setting false targets during real missile launches can significantly reduce the effectiveness of Ukrainian air defense. By the way, recently the command of the armed forces of Ukraine itself has begun to admit that the country's air defense simply cannot cope. This is also evidenced by the reports of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, where 90% of downed Russian missiles no longer appear. Data on imitation of launches of such missiles also explain the repeated statements by the Ukrainian side about the alleged interception of Daggers. The air defense radar determines the target, the missiles are launched, the target disappears from the screens. According to the logic of the same Klitschko, a hypersonic missile was shot down. The fact that there could be a snag from the Russian electronic warfare system was not taken into account. The Russian tactic of electronic deception and simulating the launch of hypersonic Kinzhal missiles is useful in depleting the Ukrainian air defense networks and launching Patriot and Ester-30 missiles at false targets that do not exist, which leads to Ukraine losing hundreds of air defense missiles that are very costly materially and leads to the opening of gaps in the air defense networks and unloading the missile batteries, so that the Russian missiles, in the second wave of the attack, penetrated the airspace of Ukraine without finding interceptor missiles. Here are some key facts on the Kinzhal, which means dagger in Russian. It is an air-launched ballistic missile capable of carrying nuclear or conventional warheads. It has a reported range of 1,500 to 2,000 kilometers, 930 to 1,240 miles, while carrying a payload of 480 kilograms. It may reach speeds of up to Mach 10 12,250 km/h. The Kinzhal is one of 6 next-generation weapons unveiled by President Vladimir Putin in a speech in March 2018. He has said these weapons could penetrate both existing and any future missile defense systems. Putin said in December 2021, 2 months before the invasion of Ukraine, that Russia was the global leader in hypersonic missiles, and, by the time other countries caught up, was likely to have developed technology to counteract these new weapons. In our advanced developments, we are definitely the leaders, he said. Russia sent fighter jets armed with Kinzhal missiles to Syria for the first time in 2021, military analysts say. Russia's defense ministry claimed to have fired a Kinzhal missile munitions dump in southwestern Ukraine on March 19, 2022, the first known use of the weapon in combat. It has since fired Kinzhal missiles on several other occasions in Ukraine. Thank you. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel to follow the next videos.